What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check this out. So I've been giving this a lot of thought because this is the question that's on everybody's mind right now when it comes to this Star Wars franchise, or I should say Disney Star Wars, when it comes to Disney Star Wars. Because let's all face it, Disney Star Wars has got the franchise sitting at the bottom of the ocean. All right. It's at the lowest point that the franchise has ever been. It's never been lower than where it is right now. People can whine all they want about the prequels. The prequels never had Star Wars where the sequels took Star Wars. And then subsequently, everything that Lucasfilm has done since the sequels has done nothing but bring the franchise lower and lower and lower, with the exception of a couple of things. And so the question that I have, Favreau, okay, they clearly put Favreau's film in front of all of these other films that they announced at Star Wars Celebration, and they did so for a reason. They have zero confidence that any of these other films that had already been announced, all right, that are in some form of quote-unquote development, doesn't mean they're going to happen, but they're in some sort of development right now. They felt that Favreau, we got to put him ahead. Okay, we got to bring him out next, at least in terms of a feature film, because we don't have any confidence in these other films. And Favreau, you're going to have to save the franchise. You are going to have to save Star Wars. And it was like the guy did it before, at least you can argue that he did it before with Mando Season 2, Episode 8. That brought a lot of Star Wars fans back to the franchise after that. A lot of people were excited because Luke Skywalker made his triumphant return and everybody was back on board. At least they were willing to give it a shot, all right? Maybe people weren't 100% back in, but they were at least willing to take a look at it. Okay, let's see what else you got. Let's see what's coming next. And then, of course, we got like Book of Boba Fett, and everybody was like, oh, I'm out again, okay? Because this is garbage. Yeah, let me get up out of here. Y'all had your chance. But that's the question right now. Can Favreau save the franchise with this whole situation? Look, this Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I mean, this is going to be very interesting to see how this thing plays out. This rumor about the season 4 being 6 episodes, and then they're going to culminate it with the Mando and Grogu movie, I don't know about that, all right? I don't know about that. This thing is a giant rumor, of course. They've made several announcements. They've made some amendments to some announcements. There's a lot of rumor milling going on. You always hear me say that the rumors that kick around in Star Wars are far more interesting than the stuff that gets made in Star Wars. And then this news came from StarWarsNewsNet.com. Mando and Grogu's big adventure. And it's saying, the Mandalorian and Grogu, new feature film from director Jon Favreau that will start production this year. The Hollywood Reporter later said Favreau will be co-writing it with Dave Filoni. I would have kept Dave's name 100% out of this thing. I would have kept his name completely out of any creative credits whatsoever. Okay, he's going to produce it or executive produce it, whatever, fine, go ahead. But now it's like, oh, he's co-writing it. So the fact that they're saying Dave Filoni is co-writing it, here's how I read this, okay? Going back to this Bespin Bulletin announcement that season 4 was going to have 6 episodes, and then the finale was going to be the Mando and Grogu movie. Again, this is just speculation on my part, but I think what that means with Dave Filoni stepping in is that Dave Filoni pretty much is going to be rewriting, episodes 7 and 8, making that into a movie along with Jon Favreau. They'll rewrite it together, and then that's what's going to happen. So the 6 episodes that they have up here for Mando season 4, I think that's true. Whatever they already had written in terms of scripts, they're going to shoot that. And then they're going to take the script, they're going to rewrite the script along with Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and then they're going to put that out there on the big screen. And I said that you got to put some sort of a major cliffhanger. Otherwise, this makes absolutely no sense. Makes no sense if you don't have some kind of a major cliffhanger that brings people from episode 6 straight into the movie. If you do that, it might work. It could work because, listen, people like, oh, man, this is going to continue on in the film, in the feature film. This cliffhanger is going to be answered. And if it's a big cliffhanger, like you bring Luke Skywalker back, oh, my God, yeah, that'll work. But here's my opinion on this whole thing. Based on what we just found out, that Dave Filoni is co-writing this film, to answer the question, can Jon Favreau save the franchise? I'm going to say no. I don't think Jon Favreau can save this franchise whatsoever. And here's the reason why. It's really because of this announcement. As I started to sit back and just kind of, postulate on this whole situation, I'm saying, look, Jon, you clearly have a vision for what you thought episode or season 4 could be. You clearly have a vision. And you're allowing other people to come in here and manipulate your vision for season 4 of The Mandalorian. You didn't have an idea for a movie. You had an idea for a television series. And it's the same thing that I feel Jon Favreau allowed Kathleen and Dave and others to come in and mess with season 3 of Mando. I feel like he did that. And again, and I'm not letting him off the hook for it either. But listen, whether it was Jon Favreau that messed up season 3 all on his own, or whether he allowed other people to come in and influence his season 3, it doesn't matter. The fact is that you wasn't strong enough to either write a great season 3, or you weren't strong enough to tell these jokers to get lost. No, I'm not changing up what I did. If you don't want me to do this, here, you can take this franchise. I got other stuff that I could be doing right now. That's how you answer that question. Maybe that's not how things in Hollywood work, though. Maybe other people can come in and stomp all over your shit. And then what happens when it's trash? Hey, that's on you, John. That's on Favreau. So if Favreau is allowing people to come in here and just kind of tell them, hey, this is what's what, and I was always the one giving him the benefit of the doubt. But now I'm kind of like, you letting cats come in here and pretty much just kind of steer you and steer your creativity and steer your filmmaking into what they want it to be. And if that's what this cat is doing, there's no way in the world this is going to work. You're bringing in forces like Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy that have already proven they don't know what they're doing. Jon Favreau, maybe you liked The Mandalorian, maybe you didn't, but at least you could say that he got some of the Star Wars fans on board. When it came to season 1 of Mando, I think most Star Wars fans were on board. A lot of people were like, man, there's some issues. And there were some issues in season 1 and 2. No question at all about it. A lot of filler. I was saying that on the DA's office this past week. There's a lot of filler in The Mandalorian, which is why it doesn't make sense to shoot a season, because The Mandalorian is known for filler episodes. Like, why do we have this episode? They have a lot of filler. And so it didn't make sense for me to have 6 episodes and then a film, unless, like I said, you end that 6th episode ends on a banger of a cliffhanger. Like, holy crap, it's Luke Skywalker. He's coming back. And he goes to Din Djarin. He says, yo, Din, let's get the job done. Come on, me and you, baby. We gonna fix this. And then you got Luke, and you got Din Djarin, and you got Grogu, and Grogu is practicing some of the tricks that he learned while he was with Luke, and Luke is still kind of training him as a Jedi as we go along on this adventure, and they're, whatever. You could make something interesting out of that. That's enough material right there for you to run with that and do great things with it. But it's not going to happen because, again, I don't trust the people involved. I don't trust Dave Filoni. I don't trust Kathleen Kennedy, and I don't trust John to shut the shit down when it goes off the rails. Somebody got to be able to step in and say, yo, this is trash. This is crap. What are we doing here? Nope. Stop. Go back in the other direction. We're off the rails now. And nobody has the ability to do that. You think Dave Filoni is going to? No, he's not doing it. Kathleen wouldn't do it. John's not going to do it. He's already proven, at least in my eyes, that he's going to allow trash to his name to be attached to trash like Mando season 3. Either he wrote it himself or he allowed them to manipulate it. Either way, it doesn't matter. This cat ain't the guy. So now we're going to have to turn to who? Maybe it's this guy, Godzilla -1 director, Takashi Yamazaki. I've already done a video about this situation. He was on campus at Lucasfilm, screening Godzilla -1 for the folks over there. Dave Filoni apparently set it up. And honestly, that's interesting news, because why is Dave Filoni setting up a meeting with a director to just bring in, hey, we can go and watch Godzilla -1 all we want to. We don't need the director to come out there and screen this. So what is he doing at Lucasfilm? Well, he's already expressed interest in making a Star Wars movie, as it says right here, after previously expressing interest in making a Star Wars movie. He recently screened his critically acclaimed kaiju film on Lucasfilm's lot, potentially indicating a possibility of a future collaboration. That's the thing that's going to save Star Wars. That's what will save Star Wars. I'd asked the question on the DA's office to the chat. I'd asked, if you gave Yamazaki full creative control, Lucasfilm can't say shit. Hey, do what you want to do, bro. You got full creative license. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Dave Filoni can't pull the plug on, like everything, what you think is what's going to hit the screen. If you gave him that kind of creative control, he can pick the cast, he can pick the crew, he can pick everything. It's his film. If you gave that to him, would that be enough to bring Star Wars back from the brink? Would you have more confidence, at least, that Star Wars can be saved? And I think it started out like at 77% yes, but then it dropped down to about 63%. And a lot of people were saying, well, yeah, but if Kathleen Kennedy is still there, I don't think he's just one guy, right? So if Kathleen Kennedy is still there, I don't think you could save Star Wars at all, you know? And yeah, I mean, you know, I kind of tend to agree with that point as well. Like Kathleen basically got to go. You know, that's really what it is. But Favs saving Star Wars, I think that's out. I think that's out. As much as I want to believe that, you know, a Mando and Grogu movie, even if you threw Luke Skywalker in there, even if you did all of these bells and whistles and everything, and we were talking and saying, yeah, Luke would absolutely have to be a vital part of the film. He couldn't just be a cameo. He would actually have to be integrated into the film in a very realistic, holistic way that makes sense, and he's a part of the adventure. He's not just a here today and then he's out of there and he's only in it for 5 minutes, you know, like Daredevil was in Echo. He would absolutely have to be a part of the film. If that's the case, I think it's a better film. But again, how long can you pull this off? You know, the ideas that are running around over there at Lucasfilm are just not cohesive when it comes to building a great franchise. A lot of this stuff just does not work, you know? And we've seen it on display when it comes to, you know, Ahsoka, when it comes to the Book of Boba Fett. We're about to watch The Acolyte this year. We're about to watch The Skeleton Crew this year. Again, little confidence in those, you know? So yeah, I think Favreau, unfortunately, is not the guy. And no, and maybe somebody like Yamazaki could be the guy. You know, we'll have to see. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.